Hey, I'm sorry. I was having some issues and I couldn't tell if I was coming across. So I went ahead and stopped that other live feed just so that I can come back and make sure that I can see myself moving. It's kind of creepy when you see yourself frozen on the screen. It is distracting to actually see yourself moving on the screen. So now that I've talked a little bit about the coffee that I was wanting, and I will link back to my other live video so that you can see about the coffees that I was talking about that I use, so that you can do your own research on the coffee that you drink too. I don't just tell people to drink and eat what I drink and eat. Do your research. Call the company that you use and ask them if they try to go organic, how heavily sprayed their coffees are, things of that nature, so that you can be informed, not just follow along with somebody else. But I do like those, and I do like the flavor of the Kicking Horse better than the Bulletproof. So I hope that those of you that were on that got kicked off will come back. If not, hopefully you'll catch the replay. So today, it's kind of a touchy subject for some people, and I want to talk about positivity. And when I say positivity, I'm not talking about those people that just go around all the time with a smile on their face and you can kind of tell that it's fake. Nobody is happy all the time. You can smile when you're around other people, but you may frown whenever you get away. So I just want to talk about just bringing more positivity into your life. I'm not a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer by any means. I don't find the negative in every situation. And if you've never seen the Debbie Downer skits, they're pretty funny. So just go YouTube them and find you a couple. I just watched one this morning just to kind of refresh my memory. And they were at Disney World, and they were actually the whole cast was just laughing because they couldn't keep a straight face whenever she was talking about all of these downisms, that she would bring into everyday conversation. So I'm not saying, because I used to kind of be that way. I used to kind of look for the worst in the situation so that I would feel better if it didn't turn out so bad. But it's no way to live, and it can actually start wearing on you. So I've tried and I'm still trying. I'm a work in progress. I am not perfect by any means. And I want to bring more positivity into my life, as much as I can. I, hey, Vianne, it's nice to see ya. Um, I, I try to bring some of that positivity into my life. And I definitely bring positivity into my daughter's lives. And one thing that I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but it, as my dad says, it grates my nerves when I hear parents out in public just demoralizing and demeaning their kids and telling them they're stupid and dumb. And it's just how I hurt for those kids, because I know that it really gets deep down. It will stay with them, and there may be a time in life when our kids are wanting to do something and they may hear that little voice inside their head saying, no, you can't do that, you're too stupid, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough. And I highly, highly encourage you as parents or grandparents to not do that, to only speak positive. If you have those thoughts, keep your mouth shut. Nobody needs to hear it. Nobody needs to hear all of that negativity. And in today's society, when we have so many kids who are so young, the age of my youngest daughter or younger, that are committing suicide, and they need to be built up, they need to be encouraged and loved and treasured, and they need to hear that. So that's my soapbox for the day. So I hope that, you will try to not only speak positivity into your life, but also do it into others' lives, because it can make such a huge difference. But coming back to ourselves, we need to speak positive stuff to ourselves. And it's hard for me a lot of times, to do it, especially about my physical appearance. I'm always nitpicking about this and about that. Um, what I do like, what I don't like. But if we start trying to speak positive into our lives, it gets a little bit easier and easier and easier, to where it's going to become more of a second nature, instead of thinking, oh my goodness, and if you catch yourself with those negative thoughts, try to stop in your tracks and find something that's a positive note. I mentioned Debbie Downer and Negative Nancy. I'm sure you guys have heard at least one of those terms, but I want to bring in some of the childhood references, and everybody should know Pooh and Eeyore. And Pooh was more of the optimistic, or at least brought some kind of happiness into a situation. And one of his sayings was, "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." And it's so true. You are, because most of the time, not everybody that I know, but most people that I know, we're our own worst critics. And we need to get out of that habit. We need to try to praise ourselves a little bit more often. Be proud when we do something and we're successful in something. And then on the other hand, we have Eeyore, the doom and gloom, the little cloud follows you around. And he said things like, if it's a good morning, which I doubt, or, well, more likely to lose it again anyway, talking about his tail. And then he tells Kanga, he's like, it's an awful nice tail, Kanga, much nicer than the rest of me. And think about how you would be down in the dumps all the time, like Eeyore, if you talk to yourself like that all the time. It's no way to talk to yourself. And we can't really, it's like somebody going outside and always carrying an umbrella, even on a sunny day like today, here in Tennessee. It's like carrying that umbrella all the time, saying, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. I might as well carry it with me, because it's just going to come a downpour at any minute. And even if there's no rain in the forecast, and you can't go throughout life like that and thinking that it's going to rain all the time, that it's just going to come a downpour. You have to get over that hump, get over that bump. And when you do start talking about yourself positively and speaking positive, and I encourage you to say it out loud,